All right, gather round history buffs and anyone who accidentally clicked on this link, welcome one and all. Tonight we're diving headfirst into the thrilling world of 17th century Polish-Swedish warfare. Yes, you heard that right. We're talking about a time when Europe was a hotbed of conflict and the stakes were incredibly high. Buckle up, because it's about to get weird. We're not just talking about any old battle. We're talking about a clash that had far-reaching consequences for the entire continent. Picture this. The year is 1656. Europe is a patchwork of warring states, each vying for power and territory. The 30 Years' War has left the continent in ruins, and the political landscape is more volatile than ever. Europe is in shambles thanks to the ever-popular 30 Years' War. This conflict has devastated entire regions, leaving behind a trail of destruction and despair. The war has reshaped borders, toppled dynasties, and altered the course of history. Poland, bless its heart, is trying to keep its head above water while simultaneously dealing with a Swedish invasion. The Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth is struggling to maintain its sovereignty in the face of relentless aggression from its northern neighbor, because, one war at a time is just too mainstream. The Polish-Swedish War is just one of many conflicts raging across Europe, each with its own unique set of challenges and complexities. Enter the Battle of Lasy, Królewskie, a name that roughly translates to royal forests. Catchy, right? This battle is a pivotal moment in the larger conflict, and it takes place in a setting that is as dramatic as it is picturesque. It sounds like the setting for a Disney movie, but trust me, Bambi, this was not. The royal forests are a far cry from the idyllic landscapes of fairy tales. Instead, they are the backdrop for a brutal and bloody confrontation. So, why should you care about a battle that happened almost 400 years ago in a forest you've probably never heard of? Well, for starters, it's a fascinating glimpse into a world that is both familiar and alien. The struggles and triumphs of the past can offer valuable insights into our own time. Well, for starters, it's got everything a good story needs: drama, intrigue, questionable military decisions, and enough historical irony to make your head spin. The Battle of Lasy Królewskie is a microcosm of the larger conflict, and it encapsulates the chaos and complexity of 17th century warfare. Plus, it's a welcome break from whatever's stressing you out today. Sometimes immersing ourselves in the past can provide a much-needed escape from the pressures of modern life. So, sit back, relax, and let's journey back to a simpler time when people settled their differences with swords and muskets. What could go wrong? As we delve into the details of this epic battle, you'll discover that the past is never as simple as it seems. The decisions made by the leaders and soldiers of the time were fraught with uncertainty and risk, and their actions continue to resonate through history. The Battle of Lasy Królewskie is more than just a footnote in history. It's a testament to the resilience and determination of those who fought in it. The strategies employed, the alliances formed, and the sacrifices made all contribute to a rich tapestry of historical narrative. Modern-day historians continue to study this battle, uncovering new insights and perspectives that shed light on the broader context of the Polish-Swedish War. By examining the past, we can better understand the present and perhaps even glimpse the future. Today, the royal forests stand as a silent witness to the events that transpired there. The landscape may have changed, but the echoes of the past remain. As we explore this historical site, we'll uncover the story of the people who lived, fought, and died there. Museums and historical sites dedicated to the Battle of Lasy Królewskie offer a tangible connection to the past. Through artifacts, documents, and exhibits, we can piece together the puzzle of history and gain a deeper appreciation for the complexities of the time. Reenactments and demonstrations bring history to life, allowing us to experience the sights, sounds, and sensations of the past. By stepping into the shoes of those who came before us, we can gain a greater understanding of their world and the challenges they faced. So, as the sun sets over the royal forests, let's take a moment to reflect on the enduring legacy of the Battle of Lasy Królewskie. It's a story of courage, resilience, and the indomitable human spirit. And it's a story that continues to inspire and captivate us even after all these years. Stay tuned for the next chapter, where we'll delve even deeper into the events that shaped this pivotal moment in history. Until then, keep your curiosity alive and your love for history burning bright. On one side, we've got the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, a vast and at times slightly dysfunctional empire. This sprawling realm was a melting pot of cultures, languages, and traditions, stretching from the Baltic Sea in the north to the Black Sea in the south. It was a land of grand cities, bustling markets, and a rich tapestry of history that had seen both triumphs and tribulations. At the helm of this grand empire was the legendary John II Casimir Vasa. Born into the illustrious Vasa dynasty, John Casimir was a man of many facets. His reign was marked by both internal strife and external threats, yet he remained a figure of resilience and determination. Now, John Casimir was a man of many talents, a king, a cardinal, and if rumors are to be believed, a bit of a party animal. His court was known for its lavish banquets where the finest wines flowed freely and the music and dance continued long into the night. He was a patron of the arts, a lover of culture, and a man who knew how to enjoy the finer things in life. He was basically the Renaissance man, if the Renaissance involved a lot more cavalry charges and political intrigue. Under his rule, the Commonwealth saw numerous battles, with knights on horseback charging into the fray, and political councils that were as much about strategy as they were about survival. Facing off against John Casimir and his posse were the Swedes, led by the ambitious, and let's be honest, slightly terrifying, King Charles IX Gustav. Charles was a formidable leader, known for his military prowess and unyielding ambition. His eyes were set on expanding his empire, and he was willing to go to great lengths to achieve his goals. Charles was basically the Beyoncé of 17th century warfare, talented, driven, and with a knack for making dramatic entrances. His charisma and leadership inspired his troops, and his strategic mind made him a force to be reckoned with on the battlefield. He was a master of psychological warfare, often using his dramatic entrances to intimidate and demoralize his enemies. He'd already conquered half of Poland by this point, and he wasn't about to let a little thing like a dense forest stop him. His army was well trained and disciplined, capable of navigating through the most challenging terrains. The dense forests of Poland were no match for his determined soldiers, who marched through with unwavering resolve, ready to face whatever obstacles lay ahead. And so the stage was set for an epic clash between two powerful leaders and their armies. The Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, with its rich history and diverse culture, stood against the might of the Swedish Empire, led by a king whose ambition knew no bounds. The outcome of this conflict would shape the future of both nations and leave a lasting mark on the history of Europe. Now, the Battle of Lasy Królewskie didn't exactly get off to a roaring start. In fact, it was more of a slow, slightly awkward shuffle. See, the Swedes, being the ever-punctual guests that they were, showed up to the party fashionably late, like really late. Imagine this. The Polish forces are chilling in the forest, catching up on their beauty sleep, when suddenly, boom, the Swedes burst onto the scene, all cannons blazing and looking ready to rumble. It's the historical equivalent of showing up to a surprise party a week late, except instead of cake and balloons, there are muskets and pikes. The Polish, understandably caught off guard, were forced to scramble into action. It wasn't exactly their finest hour, but hey, at least they weren't the ones who forgot to set an alarm. Section 4, Death by Sledding, Unconventional Warfare Tactics. Now, let's talk tactics, or at least what passes for tactics when you're fighting a battle in a dense, snow-covered forest. Winter warfare has always been a unique challenge for armies throughout history. The cold, the snow, and the treacherous terrain can turn even the most straightforward battle plans into logistical nightmares. But sometimes these harsh conditions can also spark some of the most creative and unconventional strategies. The Swedes, being the innovative bunch that they were, decided to embrace the winter wonderland vibe and utilize a rather unconventional mode of transportation: sleds. Imagine the scene, a vast expanse of snow, the air crisp and biting, and instead of trudging through the snow, Swedish soldiers are gliding across it on sleds. It was a bold move, one that showcased their ability to adapt and think outside the box. Yes, you heard that right, sleds. These weren't just any sleds, though. They were specially designed to carry heavy artillery and supplies, making it easier for the Swedish army to maneuver through the snow-covered terrain. The idea was simple, yet ingenious. Why struggle through the snow when you can slide over it? Apparently, someone in the Swedish High Command thought it would be a brilliant idea to attach cannons to sleds and drag them through the snow. This allowed them to move their heavy artillery quickly and efficiently, giving them a significant advantage in mobility. It was a tactic that combined practicality with a touch of whimsy, and it worked surprisingly well. It sounds like something out of a Monty Python sketch, but I assure you this actually happened. The sight of cannons being dragged on sleds must have been both awe-inspiring and slightly comical. But in the heat of battle, this unconventional approach gave the Swedes a unique edge. The Polish, on the other hand, stuck to more traditional methods of warfare, like, walking. They relied on their tried-and-true strategies, focusing on the strength and discipline of their infantry. Marching through the snow was no easy feat, but the Polish soldiers were well-trained and resilient, ready to face the harsh conditions head-on. They did, however, have one secret weapon up their sleeves: the Hussars. These elite cavalry units were the pride of the Polish army, known for their speed, agility, and sheer ferocity in battle. The Hussars were a force to be reckoned with, and their presence on the battlefield often turned the tide of battle in favor of the Polish. These legendary horsemen were basically the Polish winged hussars, known for their flamboyant attire and their ability to strike fear into the hearts of their enemies. Their distinctive wings, which were attached to their armor, created a terrifying noise as they charged, adding to their fearsome reputation. The sight of these winged warriors thundering across the battlefield was enough to send shivers down the spine of even the most hardened soldier. In conclusion, the winter battles between the Swedes and the Polish showcased a fascinating clash of traditional and unconventional tactics. The Swedes' use of sleds to transport their cannons was a testament to their ingenuity and adaptability, while the Polish hussars embodied the power and prestige of traditional cavalry. Both sides brought their unique strengths to the battlefield, creating a dynamic and unpredictable conflict that has captured the imagination of historians and enthusiasts alike. Whether it's the image of cannons on sleds or the thunderous charge of the winged hussars, these moments remind us of the creativity and resilience that define the art of war. Section 5 there, the fog of war and other inconveniences. As you can imagine, fighting a battle in a dense forest in the middle of winter wasn't exactly a walk in the park. Visibility was terrible, thanks to the thick trees and the ever-present fog of war, and probably also some actual fog. Communication was a nightmare, and trying to coordinate a large-scale military maneuver was about as easy as herding cats on roller skates. To make matters worse, both sides were constantly tripping over tree roots, getting lost in the woods, and generally having a miserable time. It's safe to say that the Battle of Lasy Królewskie wasn't exactly a shining example of military brilliance.